the story became worldwide news. Mary's husband had been lynched, and she had spoken out against it. For speaking her truth, an angry, racist mob tracked her down. They tied her up, cut her stomach out, ripped her baby out, and stomped on the baby's head. Then they lynched Mary. These are the stories of this region. And when you look closely, you find the history of Valdosta and the history of racism in this country go hand in hand. Valdosta was originally created because the railroad company was built.
You can disagree if you want, but hear me out before you dismiss me. But America hasn't truly been pro-life in its 244-year history. Let's rewind back to 1918 and think on a sister named Mary Turner. A white mob hung her upside down by her feet, drenched her in gasoline, and struck a match so they could burn her simply for protesting her husband's senseless murder. See, Mary was 8 months pregnant and the mob completely stripped her of her humanity. Upon closer inspection and determined to perform an unwarranted C-section, the mob took a knife to Mary's belly and treated her like a lab animal being prepped for dissection, sliced her open like a deer in open season, severing her and her baby's connection. And upon hearing the cries for its mother, the mob proceeded to commit an act that you wouldn't even believe. They stomped the life out of this newborn until it became silent like an unpronounced letter and could no longer breathe. And truthfully, the killers were probably motivated by Birth of a Nation, the same movie that rebooted the Klan to call for the South's salvation, because they know if you kill the black mother, father, and child, that's how you prevent the birth of a nation. And
this is Hayhira, Georgia. Hayhira is in South Georgia. It's in Lowndes County. Lowndes is home to Valdosta, Georgia, which is probably the next biggest city. And we're here today because I was looking for the Mary Turner lynching site, memorial, marker. And I couldn't find it. And the reason I could not find the Mary Turner marker was because they permanently removed it. And the reason that they permanently removed it was because it kept getting destroyed by people who did not want to have a marker for a woman that was lynched in this county. And I don't know if you know the story of Miss Mary Turner's lynching, but it's particularly brutal. Because Miss Mary Turner was lynched in this county at this spot because she spoke out about her husband being lynched. Okay? Her husband was lynched. She got mad about it, and she expressed her outrage. All right? And what happened was, a lynching party came, rounded up this woman who was very pregnant. I want to say she was 6 months pregnant, maybe more than that. And they beat and killed her. But not only that, someone took a knife and cut the baby out of this woman's womb and stomped the child to death. So I'm showing you this sign that has bullet holes in it right near Miss Turner's memorial. And this is why they had to remove her marker, because it kept getting shot up with bullet holes.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm a
On this date in 1918, Mary Turner is lynched by a white mob in Brooks County, Georgia, after speaking out publicly against the lynching of her husband the day before. Mary was pregnant at the time. You don't hear it talked about, but the lynching of black women has been a long-time trend in America. To stay up on your hidden history, lock in with me.
Mary Turner was a young black American woman who lived in Valdosta, Georgia. She was married to a man named Hayes Turner, who was accused of murdering a white plantation owner for assaulting him. On May 17, 1918, a white mob lynched Hayes Turner along with several other black men in revenge. Mary Turner, who was pregnant at the time, publicly denounced the lynching and threatened to have those responsible brought to justice. For breaking the racial hierarchy, a mob of white people, including men, women, and children, set out to find Mary. 2 days later, Mary was found attempting to flee. According to reports, they tied her upside down by her ankles, poured gasoline on her, and set her on fire. As she screamed in agony, one of the men cut open her pregnant belly with the knife and the unborn child fell to the ground. The man stomped on the child, killing it. No one was ever held accountable for the brutal murder of Mary Turner and her unborn child.
I was lynched by a mob when I was 8 months pregnant. My name is Mary Turner, and I lived in early 20th century America during a period of racial turmoil. My husband, Hayes Turner, and I resided in a small town in Georgia, working for a white plantation owner named Hampton Smith. On a day in May 1918, Hayes got into an altercation with Smith, which led to him being abducted and lynched by a group of vigilantes. His untimely departure left me heartbroken. I openly condemned this unjust death and insisted on my husband's innocence. However, my courage attracted even greater tragedy. A mob of vigilantes tied me to a tree, hanging me in midair, and then set me on fire. I suffered burns, but they didn't stop there. They proceeded to cut open my abdomen, pulling my unborn child from my womb and cruelly stomped on him. Finally, they shot my lifeless body countless times, treating me like an animal. After my death, they buried my body and my child's remains under the tree, denying me even a decent burial. This tragedy had severe consequences. Neither Hayes nor I received proper justice, and the culprits faced no punishment. Our story garnered nationwide attention and anger, becoming a significant case in the fight against lynching. Although anti-lynching legislation struggled to pass successfully, our story became a crucial milestone in the struggle for civil rights, laying the foundation for the later civil rights movement.